Alright, today we're going to rebuild our carburetor on our Allis Chalmers WD-45. Good old tractor here, and the carburetor is a little bit tired, so we got a deluxe carburetor kit from Steiner Tractors, and we're going to go ahead and remove the carburetor now and then rebuild it in the shop. First thing you're going to want to do is turn the fuel off at this fuel cock right above the sediment bowl. Turn it clockwise, nice and snug, fuel shut off. All right, we're gonna go ahead now and remove the fuel line from the carburetor. We got a band clamp here. Just go ahead and pull that loose. There you go. All right, then come down here and loosen the band clamp on your air intake. Just like that. Then we got our carburetor to intake manifold nuts. We're going to go ahead and take those off. There's that one. Alright, got a hold of our carburetor now. We're going to go ahead and take our Newmost pliers. We've got the choke linkage held on with a cotter pin. Go ahead and pull that cotter pin through there. Right like that. Set it down there on the frame. And then go ahead and take the throttle linkage off. We're going to go ahead and pull that cotter pin out, set it right down there on the frame. All right, now we have our carburetor all freed up. We're going to go ahead and clean it up and get it rebuilt. Here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and go through this Allis Chalmers WD-45 carburetor rebuild with you. We've got our carburetor right here, and we have a AC comprehensive carb kit. That's item number ACS 3565. We've got this from Steiner Tractor Supply parts, and we've got our WD-45 operator's manual here, and on page 46 in our manual we have an exploded carburetor diagram, and this diagram came with the carburetor rebuild kit. So pretty good instruction manual. Also, we have these DVDs we reference whenever we're working on our WD-45. I found these on the internet over 10 years ago, and I bought them knowing they would come in handy someday. And this one is Engine Rebuild for Allis Chalmers Tractors, featuring Allis Chalmers WD-45 with information pertaining to the WC, the WD, the WF, the WS, and WI Allis Chalmers Tractors. Tune-up for Allis Chalmers Tractors, featuring Allis Chalmers WD-45 with information pertaining to all those same tractors as previously mentioned. And this was made by J&D Productions Incorporated, P.O. Box 38, Metamora, Michigan 48455, copyright 2002. I'm not sure if you can get a hold of these anymore, but if you can and you have a WD-45, these come in pretty handy. Okay, so we have the comprehensive carb kit, or the deluxe carb kit, I think it was called on their website. Comes with all the gaskets and a whole lot of little parts. A ton of little parts. Okay, we're gonna get started here. We're gonna take that old gasket off. We got an old nut here. That post is gonna stay on there. Taking the upper assembly off, and we're gonna lay everything out real nicely on our paper towel. So 4 screws, and then the upper half comes off. You take this, slide this little pin out, and your float will fall right off. I like laying things out in the order I take them out, and then it makes it much easier when I go to reassemble. I don't have to think as much. That feels like a pretty tired, worn out gasket. Pin valve. Man, even that one. That one's a big screwdriver. And there's also a teeny tiny little guy right in here. Okay. And this is the throttle. We're going to go ahead and take the throttle butterfly off. And one thing you want to do is, one thing they talk about in this video is seeing if there's any play on the shaft. Especially, I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. I feel a little bit of play in there. Little bit of play. So, he talks about the engine revving. You know, revving up, idling down. Revving up, idling down. Revving up, idling down. And he said a lot of times it's a leak from these shafts. Either this throttle assembly shaft or the choke shaft. And I think he said one way to check for a leak is to take like a propane torch without igniting the torch, just letting the gas out of the end of it. You expel the gas out of the end of the torch, and you go all over the assembly where there might be a leak while the tractor's running, and if it smooths out, evens out, you found your leak. Alright. That screw is loose, one screw is loose. We're working on the second screw here. Second screw and lock washer deal is loose. There are those right there. We'll put them right there. And then we ought to be able to figure this out, right? Looks like it pushes through or something. Comes out. There's the old butterfly. And here is the old shaft. And here's the new shaft. It almost looks like there's a little seal there, but I could be wrong. And this one here, I mean, that one looks like it's the right size, but how in the world do you get that one in there? I don't know. And how do you get that one out of there? This is maybe part of the... I should have been paying more attention. Okay. Ooh. Hang on. Alright. That little brass seat, I think it's brass. That come out of there like that. Now we got our little rubber doodad right there behind it, and that is that. So that stuff came out. Start by maybe getting down in here. We're gonna go there, we're gonna clean this all out before we reinstall anything in there. Now this is a tapered deal. This is, I think it used to be a tapered deal. I can kind of see how it was tapered before. I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there. And then, does it look like that one? It kind of looks like that one. Definitely doesn't look like that one. And we're gonna put that back in there. Now the orientation of this butterfly, 15 is written on it right there, whatever that means. And we're going to aim to see that 15. That's a snug fit. That's a tight fit. How does that work? Well, let's try the other way. That's better. And I think those are our new screws. They're a little shorter, but I'm pretty sure those are the new ones. Ooh, got a little magnet power here. Like that. Now we'll snug them up. We don't want to do that. Don't want to break traction here. Good deal. New butterfly installed. Okay, that's that deal. We're going to go ahead and, before we try and start it and the idle is all the way down and it keeps stalling out on us and we start pulling our hair out, we're going to go ahead and back that off a turn or so. It wants 4, which is a gasket. That looks like a gasket. That might fit in there. Let's give it a shot. It goes in. There's a gasket. We put the gasket in. I'm pretty sure it fits there, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is intended for in this kit, being that it's listed. But I am not finding, and I don't know where this is supposed to go. Generally with stuff like this, you're supposed to turn them all the way in and then go, let's see, go 1, we can just count them, 1.5, 2, 1.5, 3. We're going to go roughly 3 turns out. Let's take a look at the idle jet. That's our original idle jet. That's our replacement idle jet. They gave us 2. And we're going to use, ours is short and fat. We're going to use the short, fat idle jet. Put it in there. Our new idle jet is in. We're going to go ahead and seat that. I don't want to get carried away. I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to clog anything. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. Got our new pin. Gonna go ahead and put the new pin in there. And the float valve. Now, yeah, in that video I saw he was really scrutinizing his float valve, and he wanted to make sure, he was really looking at that float valve, putting a careful eye on it, and really trying to get them both even on the same plane. Now, I can see that this float valve in the back, on the other side of it, is lower than this one here. So I'm going to just take this and bend it down just a touch and see what that did for me. Ooh, that made it a lot closer, so much closer. I'm going to go ahead and give it another little tweak. I'm thinking that's pretty darn close. Pretty even. Okay. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the float, and the float tab goes towards the top of the carburetor, which is that way. And we're going to take our new pin for the float, and we're going to slide that through, and there we go. There's our rebuilt upper assembly. Fantastic. We're going to set that to the side, and now we're going to take a look at our lower assembly and see what's going on here. So, now this is a part that we were really having trouble with because it was leaking on us. So this was one of the main reasons why we got the rebuild. It would leak fuel. I don't know if it was the float valve that was doing it to us in combination with this, but it was definitely leaking out of this. Okay. And there you have it. It's just that easy. Only one. Where's our big snafu? The butterfly, the carburetor butterfly thing. We were going to have to do modifications and stuff on it, and that's kind of rotten, and it cracked and broke right there as we were trying to put this alternative bracket thing on it. So win some, lose some. We got the new plate, new butterfly plate in there though, and that's nice and shiny, looking real good. We're going to go ahead and keep the rest of these new parts that we got no idea what they do. Go ahead and stash those and see what happens. Alright, good luck. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. we're going to go ahead and get this reinstalled and the tractor fired up. We got quite a few more WD-45 videos to make, so we'll bring you along with us on that little journey. But yep, we'll get this reinstalled, fired up tomorrow. We'll let you hear it and see it, and stay tuned. Alright, so we got our carburetor rebuilt. Now we're going to go ahead and put it back on the WD-45 and fire it up.